Hey guys, back today with another video. Got a fire going today. You can take a look at it. Got a fire going. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon in the fall. Man, you can't beat this kind of weather. Uh, it's beautiful outside. The sun's out, but it's cold enough to man, want a fire. I love to build fires, and I'm always building them everywhere. Love to hang out in front of them. Just does something for my soul. I really enjoy it. But wanted to get out a video today. Just another encouraging word and also repetitious word on this new concept of multi-generational family teams on mission. We had a multi-generational weekend because Arita's mom and dad came in Friday from a little girl Abigail's birthday, her 7th birthday, and so they came in Friday, and I've been here all weekend and we've enjoyed them. You know, we had a Shabbat on Friday. I talked about that in another video. It just, nobody knew it was a Shabbat, just so everybody knows. There's nothing very different than a normal meal, except it's on a Friday night. That's when the traditional Shabbat is. And I better go this way. And we didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell the kids. I shared it with Arita, and I was like, hey, I want to have a Shabbat. We're going to call it that between me and you. It's really just a meal, though, and that we make much of our mom and dad. In this case, Arita's mom and dad. And Arita and I, began to ask questions about, tell me about your mom, tell me about your dad, we just started asking things about the generation that's gone before us. We found out some really interesting little tidbits by just digging in. And what that is, it's an honorable thing to do, because you're saying to your parents that you are valuable. I mean, we really see you in that light, and we want to treat you that way, and we care. And you know, it might be a new thought for us Westerners to really care about that a lot, but it's an important thing. And so we didn't even tell the kids about it. We're starting to think about it. And my prayer as we were on the way to church this morning was, you know, I really want to honor. I want to learn how to honor. We live in such an honor-less society now, and we've lost these things. And in that, we've lost family. We've lost identity as family. We've lost legacy. We're just disconnected from it. We're not connecting ourselves to the past and the good things that have transpired. There's so many good things to think about, to talk about, to know about, to make much of, that are in your family and my family. And if not, if you're sick, because there are some families that just really have a difficult time coming up with positive things. I understand that's the case in some families, but if you've been born again into the family of God, well, you can skip straight to the story of God, because it's been going on for thousands of years, and there have been many, many mothers and fathers that have come and gone that have paid an enormous price, listening to the Father, living out their mission, the mission assigned for them, and powerfully impacting the planet. And you're just plugged right into them. So you can talk about you know, American revolutionary fathers in America. You can Billy Graham, if you want to step ahead of that. If you want to go back to Martin Luther and the Reformation. You know, George Washington's my favorite president. I believe he was a born-again child of God, although he didn't stress it in certain ways. I believe he was used powerfully. I believe the Spirit empowered him to be a strong man of Christ-like character in our nation. Anyway, I could go on and on about history. And you plug that straight back into to Israel, the family of God. I mean, that goes to, you know, David, the Apostle Paul, to David, to Jesus, of course, the firstborn, to Moses, to Abraham. We're plugged into that. We honor that. We make much of that. We talk about that with our kids. We say, hey, we're a part of this. And that's just a new way of looking at things. And so we had a great weekend hanging out with Arita's parents. And, you know, and just know this, the kids aren't going to respond perfectly when you institute these things. They're not going to sit there and be gaga-eyed over, you know, what your parents are saying, the stories. You know, our kids were up and running around like they didn't care, and But me and Arita cared, and that's what matters. I mean, we're on a new way of thinking, living, doing. We're calling our kids into it slowly. It's through the repetition that it begins to sink in. As it becomes meaningful to Arita and I, it becomes meaningful to them. So, but I'm things are changing in my life. I'm seeing my mission as a father to a family team. I'm seeing life through that lens, and it's changing me. It's changing how I see everything. It's changing how I understand everything. I'm seeing and receiving and getting my significance from Jesus, who is the Son to the Father, and I'm getting clicked into my place next to him in the mission of the Father, and understanding my family is the unit that I've been placed to receive from Jesus, an understanding of what's this all about. What is the macro like? What is the Trinity like? You're a family that operates in a submitted love to one another. You don't do anything separately. You do things together. And you've given me a family team to do the same thing with and the same thing in. And I'm seeing that, and I'm understanding it is my job to lay my life down for this this beautiful woman that God's given me, wonderful woman of God, my wife is, and I'm plugging into how can I make her life easier, better? How can I encourage her to develop and mature in her own giftings? How can I plug into this family? And my wife's already been up and running all these things anyway, a lot of them, in bearing the burden of the home. I'm just plugging into it and just saying, hey, I'm here to do it too, alleviating the burden. So what are the things that I'm doing that are creating new things? We've talked about it all week. We've got morning meetings, we've got evening meetings, and we're just communicating and talking about what does the family need to be doing? What are we doing together? What are we on mission to do? And we've just been doing those things, and more and more things begin to come up that we need to attend to together. Today we've got a scheduled rabbit cage cleaning that all of us are going to take part in. We're going to do it together. We're beginning to see life as a team and doing life together, and seeing the opportunity to be together and do it together, and understanding that each one of us has a role to play in that. And I primarily am the one that is understanding that I'm surrendering my individuality to this unit and getting my significance from my coaching role to lead this family as a team into the mission of God. And the mission of God primarily around this house is to bring order into chaos. The God of chaos in this, the prince of the power of the air, he's working to destroy. He uses gravity against us. He uses time against us. He uses powerful forces to try to crumple us up like a piece of paper and throw us to the side. And we're in an environment with great forces working against us. Entropy is that law that we understand. Everything's falling apart. And it takes sons and daughters of God, because we're the only ones on this planet who've been created with the image-bearing capacity to stand up against it and to go in another direction. But you've got to have a strong purpose, and God has given us that purpose. And he says, I will come, I have come, and I've given my spirit so you can be filled with it, and you can stand up against this environment in my life and in my strength. But you've got to see things my way. And I'm just trying to be faithful to see things God's way and to begin to do it. Some of the new things I've done, it's the second Sunday in a row that I have on purpose stayed with my family through the morning. And now this is going to be strange to a lot of people, but in my world, been a pastor, and so I've made Sunday like I would typically go to church early and study up for whatever I was going to do and just be there separately from my family. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm staying with my family. I'm a part of the process in the morning and getting things going, helping kids get out of the get ready and get going just like every other morning. and to go to church together. Today I went with them to take them into their classes and deliver them. Those are things I've never done before, and I wanted to. I want to be leading and doing and being with them in every part of their lives, and let Arita know I'm right alongside you to do everything with you in this. I'm not leaving you to do things until there are certainly going to be times where that's going to be the thing to do, and I've got to do my thing, but I'm living with the desire to be with them, to be with my family. And those are new things, and I'm sensing that God is doing this in me. I'm not doing this. This is a new way of thinking. God's just opened my eyes, and I'm understanding it, that I get to do this. And this is significance. This is true significance for me personally. And just things are clicking. They're just coming into place. I'm just loving my wife. I'm loving my kids. I'm putting my hand to the plow, so to speak, and living as the leader of my family unit. Here's my point today. You need to be thinking about being on mission together. So you come up with all these different tiny little missions and bigger missions. Another thing my family's doing is we've entered a 5K together. That's in January. It's a scheduled 5K here in the city somewhere. Arita's done it. But we're doing a couch to 5K together, minus Samuel, my 5-year-old. He's not quite there yet, but everybody else, we're training weekly, getting ourselves ready to run this race, and we're going to run it together. So see, we've got a mission to do together, and you just begin to see life through that and begin to live life in that way. And I believe that is the way that God's going to be able to lift us up into the greater things. And as we do these things at home, these things are going to begin to spill over into our church life and the environment that we're creating at our workspace, in our church, in other places. So in other words, this is something you've got to be doing at home. I mean, it's a holistic way of doing life, and I'm kind of clicking into place. So I want to keep doing these videos as a different way to say a new thing every day, in a different way, maybe hopefully adding to things as we go, but wanted to have another touch and seeing life through the eyes of a family team. God bless you. God's going to change the world one family at a time. He said he would, and he will. So let yours be one of them, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.